Been connected, stay connected. Been connected, stay connected. Been connected, we been connected, we been connected. Well connected. Came down south and now I'm plugged in like my north.
What's up, everybody? My name is Khadija.
And I'm Z.
And we are back again with another video. First of all, thank you so much for all of the support and kind comments that you guys had on our previous video about the coronavirus. Today we wanted to really just spend the time talking to you about us and how we met and kind of give you some background history.
Yeah. And one thing that Khadija and I discussed is our reason for actually wanting to start this page. So we wanted to start this page because as we kind of went along on our journey, our spiritual journey, we didn't really have a lot of practical biblical resources available to us. And practical mean applicable to just modern day and everyday life.
Yeah, so today we decided we're gonna do our first series ever on dating. Woo! Yes, so the first 3 videos will be about dating, and then the 4th video will be on a study, so a Bible study related to the specific topic we are talking about. So let's get right to it. So in the beginning, last year, which was not really that long ago, I was single. We both were single, not really looking for anyone. And I guess just to go in a little bit about my dating history, I was in a long-term relationship that ended a few years ago. And then I dated around a little bit, but I just really couldn't find what I was looking for. I was looking for, a wholesome man, sisters. You all feel me, a wholesome man. I couldn't find him. So, long story short, I had my standards set pretty high and I didn't change them. And I think that's something that a lot of women, you guys should do the same, because if you just wait and you hold on to your standard, then you'll find your Mr. Somewhat right. So.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah. So as far as my dating history goes, and even my relationship history goes, a lot of it was just rooted basically in me as a believer trying to make it work with people who weren't believers. They just didn't have the same values that I had, didn't have the same standards. So that led to a lot of frustration, a lot of toxic and unhealthy relationships. So at a certain point, I just kind of gave up. And I know for me, I didn't want to date. I didn't want to be in a relationship. I was just over this search because of all my frustration and everything. And then Khadija ended up bagging me, and the rest is history. Ring on it, ASAP.
Yes. So how we met. So this one here walked into the Factory Church. Shout out to the Factory, all my people watching. Y'all comment below if you with us. So he walked into the Factory Church on a Wednesday night. I'm a youth leader and he was interested in being a youth leader. So he walked in. He at first thought I was one of the kids because he claims I look so young, which, I'll be thankful for that when I'm 70.
Me too.
But at this time I was like, excuse me, I'm a grown woman. So anywho, we met, and eventually I kept seeing him at church, and I was like, okay, like he kind of cute or whatever, like he kind of fine. So let me hit on him in the churchy way. So I asked him, I went up to him and I asked him out for coffee. And the crazy thing is, I don't even drink coffee, but I just didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to get him to go out with me. And so I asked him out for coffee, and we actually never went to get coffee, still haven't gone. We went hiking instead, so you can tell them about our first.
So hiking was our first date. So her and I were like walking up, for those of you who know Kennesaw Mountain, we went up the steep side, which is the pavement. So I'm huffing and puffing, I'm out of breath, trying to hold a conversation, trying to act like I'm all in shape and everything like that. And as we're walking, first date, she hits me with something totally out of left field. She looks me straight in my face and she tells me, "Oh, hey, appreciate you coming out with me, but I'm a wife, and if you can't recognize that, then you need to keep it moving. And just like that, like plain and simple, like straight at it. And I just looked at her, I was like, oh shoot. But it showed me she knew exactly what she wanted, she knew exactly what she was looking for, and she didn't want her time wasted. So at that point, I had a decision to make. So we actually go for a follow-up date, and this is me initiating it this time. So we go for the follow-up date. I take her out, just to kind of recap the night. Everything is kind of going wrong. Like we missed the movie we were trying to go see. After that, we finally find a place that's open to go grab food. They're about to close. So I'm trying to be all suave and smooth. So I say, hey, let's go park somewhere. Let's just chill. We could play music, talk. So we're doing that, and the night is perfect. Best night. And all of a sudden I was like, okay, I'm about to take you home, So everything is leading up to me just taking her home, and I'm leaving her with that to think about, so she know how dope I am. And all of a sudden I go to turn on the car, and the car was dead because I was playing music. We were out there for hours. The car died. Now we're stranded there. So we got to call a random Lyft driver, and he has to take us back to her crib to get jumper cables. And then we have to take her car back out to jump my whip, just so we can both get back home. And at that point, as you all know, there was no point in me taking her home. So I just thought it was ruined. I thought everything I just worked toward, I was so smooth, and I thought I did everything right. It was all out the window. And that's kind of when I was like, oh yeah, I got to keep her,
Well, so initially, I didn't really think much of your car dying. When we were sitting there listening to the music, I was kind of like, dang, we've been here for a long time and he still has his car running. But I was like, maybe his car is just magical and it just is not going to cut off. But I think the main thing that I got from it, even before when we were hiking, was that you still wanted to go out with me even after I was kind of very forward in what I said. But I was like, well, I don't want to be conceited or anything, but I do want you to know, I'm not really here to play around. I'm not here to date just to date. I date with a purpose of getting married. And the fact that he asked me out on our second date really showed that, he was on the same page. And so that was really encouraging to me. And obviously you can see we're still here.
Yeah.
After he had me drive him to his old busted car.
My car is now busted.
On our first date. But no, so we really just wanted to encourage you guys with just a little background about us. And stay tuned, because in our next video, it gets really real. We're going to be talking about our proposal and how he mustered up the faith to propose to me.
Yes.
And then just stay tuned as well, because like I said, the fourth video is going to be a Bible study all about dating, all about biblical dating, what we've learned and what God is showing us. So thank you for watching this video.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you next time. Peace and blessings.
All right.
Stay connected, stay connected, been connected, stay connected, been connected, we been connected, we been